So how do you feel? What are your first thoughts?
I think it's a fair it's within the range of a fair sentence. As the victim, you always would like to see a longer sentence, of course. That's always your perspective. But it certainly was a fair and just decision. The one part of the Canadian system that needs to be worked on is the ability to achieve some sort of restitution. Because I've tried to achieve restitution through civil courts, which she's ignored, and now the criminal restitution order is equivalent to a civil judgment again. So the Canadian system does not offer any opportunity for practical restitution.
Doug, she apologized today in her statement. Do you believe her?
I do not. She has perpetrated this over a long period of time, and despite what her defense lawyer said today, she had opportunity to express remorse through her actions as opposed to actually speaking to me. But she's taken every step to make sure that this process in every court has been as lengthy as it could possibly be, and that to me speaks to a complete and utter lack of remorse. She wanted to see whether my resolve for justice was as much as her resolve to make me go through.
What can you tell to the man who called escort? You have tips to give to them?
Just realize that it's a not everyone in that field is that way, first of all. So I don't want anyone to have the idea that escorts or people in that line of work are in any way at all similar to my situation. But as always, you hope that my case is an alert to anybody out there who's seeing their emotions played with for financial gain.
What did you think of her? She cried in court.
I can't really comment, but I would not rely on it.
Doug, what did you think of her tears today? She cried in court, or appeared to.
I'm glad that this is over. It takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to sit in all three courts, and then still, through every step, because of her deception, it hasn't stopped throughout the whole process, right? So you're always sitting back and wondering what's the next curveball she's gonna try and throw at you, right? And as far as tears, she cries for herself, for no one else.
She apologized to you today too. Was that the first time she's done that?
Yes. Well, she said she did apologize to me in the mediation, but what's important there is that mediation is not a public record. So what she said there was directly in a form that could not be used in any way, shape, or form outside that. So it was a hollow statement purely to start the process.
Doug, and the emotional cost there?
Well, your trust in other people is completely destroyed. So what is a new relationship after this? Indicated very clearly and made it obvious that my motives were all pure in terms of wanting a long-term relationship with a wife and family, and that's something I've always believed from the very beginning. So having the judge read that into the record was important to me, because that was the long-term relationship was always the motive behind all this.
What did you think as you sat there?
Your reaction to the 4 years?
No surprise.
Why?
That's within the range. That's what I figured, having regard to the circumstances, the offense, the offender, the victim.
Was she prepared
Right.
for that kind of sentence? Which
Yeah.
The judge said that he didn't believe the remorse that she expressed. Do you think she was molested?
I think she was. I think she expressed it to the best of her capabilities, which are very limited, given her personality disorder, which, whether or not it's been fully accepted by the court, that's the best she can do.
Are you going to appeal this?
She's got 30 days to decide that.
It was mentioned that since she has been incarcerated, it has not been easy for her. So moving forward now, you haven't had a chance to talk to her, I realize that, but how do you think she's doing?
You know, anybody who gets incarcerated for the first time, it's very tough. With her issues, it's even more difficult. She still has other outstanding perjury charges that have to be resolved, dealt with. So it's going to be a tough couple of months, maybe a couple of years.
Are you confident she'll get the assessment and the mental health help that she needs?
I think it'll be available to her. It's whether or not she takes advantage of it.
What about the
Is it?
restitution?
Yeah. Explain it to us.
That's going to take a while. That nobody may know.
What exactly did he say?
Pardon?
Think she'll ever pay it back though?
That process will begin many years after she's released.
What exactly did the judge say in terms of that? I didn't quite understand it.
In terms of what, pardon?
Restitution.
Well, there's basically over $800,000 in restitution was ordered in a freestanding order, in addition to the civil judgment. But he declined to make a fine in lieu of forfeiture, which would have meant that she would face more jail, which is not able to pay that fine as a result of being convicted of money laundering.
But when she gets out of jail, would she still have to pay that back?
The $800,000 is part of a restitution order as well as civil judgment.
But I'm saying, like, you know, if she goes out and gets a job after she's done with
She
jail,
is going to be expected, her wages could be garnished.
for the rest of her life.
Yep.